Hi, hi, Twitch.
Hi, Twitch.
Hi, Twitch.
That was the name of the DJ that passed like a while back. Um,
I know it's so sad.
yeah,
Mental health, man. Gotta talk about it.
you did a whole interview talking about it like recently.
Well, some like I mean, it's talk. It's talk. I like to talk about it in some form over when I do interviews, because I think it's important
Yeah,
to have a message while you're doing interviews. But yeah,
yeah. There should always be a purpose. Well, for this interview, like our purpose is the big show, the huge show, the main
yes.
event next Thursday. This will be.
Yeah, and if you haven't gotten your tickets, you should get them right now.
Yeah, come on, come on.
Link in bio. Both of our bios.
Yep. And I'm actually headed to Ryerson today. I was going to offer free tickets to TMU students, get them to come through.
Well,
Um,
that's fine. I love that. Do it for the kids.
do it for the kids, man.
Do
Such
it for the kids, man.
Kid Cudi out here. Is that is that the kind of stuff like I've heard you in that mental health interview you talked about like some serious shit.
Hmm.
I've heard you talk about some of that in your songs too. Like I think there
Yeah.
was I was watching a music video I think Lord produced.
Yeah. Shout out EM Lord.
Yeah, he like I've known him for a long time since like
Yeah.
2019. Yeah, he's a solid guy. Um,
Solid, solid guy. And he's like brilliant. Like his artistic mind and creativity is like literally so cool.
yeah,
And I respect him as an artist so much. And he's just a very humble guy. So you should go work with him if you're listening.
I think so many people already are. Like he's got so many connections,
Yeah,
but if you're not, then definitely get on that.
check him out. He also did my music video "Thick Chick," the one that was like on the farm or whatever with the dirt
Yeah,
bikes.
you're wearing
Yeah,
like a fire.
yeah,
Uh,
my Guy Ferrari shirt.
yeah, yeah. I hope he'll be
Yeah,
coming through next week. That'd be great.
yeah. I think he's just he
You never
may.
know where he'll pop up.
Yeah.
It's either him or Drake that comes through. Really.
I hope. I like Champagne Poppy. You're on the list.
Yeah. What do you think it was that made him be in your story view?
I don't know. Like I've been tagging. I literally tag him in every single thing I post, and I like we've crossed paths before, and like he knows who I am. Um, so yeah, like I'm hoping that this is my year. Like I have a lot of big A-list celebrities kind of checking me out, and I see them doing it. And like what since like the whole Shade 45 thing, like America has been like giving me a lot more respect than Toronto has. So yeah, and then I'm going to LA in a couple weeks to perform like during Grammy weekend. So I'm really excited about that.
That's gonna be amazing. I
Yeah.
am. I have a little involvement now, poster wise, which is really cool.
Yes, because my promoter, well, like one of the event promoters out there, he saw like my headline poster and he thought it was so dope. And he's like, "Hey, like, can you reach out to your guy?" And I did, and you came through. So I can't wait.
I think that's for everyone out there. I think that's why you gotta learn how to design your own posters too, man.
Yeah, yeah, and like I like like work on Canva, like, and I design some of my shit, like nowhere close to what you can do, but I think it's important as an artist to be like multi-talented. Same with like doing your own engineering and like planning your own tours and like doing the back business stuff that not a lot of artists do and they just kind of pay people to do it. Like my involvement in my shit is like full on 100% hands on. Like I manage myself. And I think it's important in the beginning stages of being an artist to do that.
100%. Well, the
Mhm.
poster's looking great. I've been
I'm so excited to see
yeah, I've been grinding on that, and I appreciate the
it.
opportunity a lot. Like, I think
Yeah,
that
and like,
yeah, I think it's important to just be able to do that other shit. Like, if I
yeah,
spent a
and
100% of my time on everything, I feel like it'd be great. But
yeah,
you never know, because I don't know. I feel like if anyone out there is talented, you can put that talent into, like you mentioned, engineering or managing your own shit too. It just kind
hmm,
of gives you more opportunities, and
yeah. Well,
this
think of, you
yeah,
got to think of it as like a business, right?
yeah,
Like the more tools that you have to make your business successful, the more successful your business is going to be, right?
yeah, man. It's crazy. I see so many people that have crazy music that are not promoting themselves
Yeah.
even even a quarter of how much you do. Like, you are promoting yourself all the
Yeah.
time. And
And you got to invest in yourself too. And like I don't think that I'm out here like the best rapper like or artist at that. Like you got to put in the work and you hear that with every person, like every person that is like known. Like
I lost you there. Can't hear you right now.
I'm
All good.
sorry.
All good.
So where's the last part you heard me?
um Basically, you have to promote yourself. You have
Yeah.
to, yeah.
Yeah. Like because like if you listen to what other artists say, like the Drakes and the Rihannas and the Beyoncés and the Jay-Z's and everything like that, like they say you got to put in that work and it's not easy. Like it's a constant grind because first of all, like the market is so big. Like everyone and their mother is an artist or a rapper. It seems like or like an entertainer at that as well, like with TikTok and stuff being so like hyped up.
Yeah,
And you just got to kind of keep working because the lazy people aren't going to get it.
exactly. I think something that you and I both have in common is just wanting to show people that they can work with us. Like, that's so important as a promoter, and that's so important no matter what you're doing. Like, I want to show people that if you work with me, I'm giving 1,000%, and you can tell because of my presence and
Of
how
course.
often I'm working and how often I'm doing things and the level at which I'm doing it, right? Like, I think that that's so huge. Like, there's so many amazing artists that I've gotten the vibe like it's really fucking hard to work with them. And
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and that sucks because I think that the number one thing you should be doing is showing that you are someone who will work for whoever it is, and you will work for your fans. You'll deliver for
Yeah.
everyone. And that, again, that comes through just you know being hands on with everything you do, promoting all the time. It's
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
it's important. So
Yeah. And I think that like ego is a huge thing because everyone just thinks once they drop a track, like it's going to go viral overnight and it's going to do these things. Yeah. And there are those stories, like, but you don't see the background of those stories. Like Post Malone, for example, blew up because of White Iverson or whatever. And he had been rapping for years before that, but no one knew about him, right? So, and no one knows the struggle, and everyone has their own journey. And this shit, like, there's no blueprints as to how you become successful in this shit except just working hard and being consistent and respecting the game
yeah, I
because that's
mean,
a big.
that's legitimate success, is
Yeah.
respecting the game, respecting the word. I mean, a lot of people, they get successful in their own eyes. So this many
Hmm.
followers, this many whatever, whatever. But it fades if you don't have a work ethic, because
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, this is kind of cliche. Everybody knows what I'm saying,
Yeah.
but I think that, yeah, like, dude,
Let's
every
get into the nitty gritty.
yeah, no, y'all know what I'm saying. So
Mm-hmm.
If I'm talking to the one person streaming at 9:47 right now, fucking,
Yeah. Shout out.
it's that person who's trying to cancel us basically. Um, yeah. So hustle culture, eh? That's
Yeah. How about that hustle culture? But you guys, going back to what you were saying earlier, I really respect how professional it's been working with you guys. Like the contracts and like the promotion and everything has been so easy and nice. So big up
oh,
yourself.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, doing an interview with the headline artist a week before is something that I haven't done yet too, and so thank you for coming on. I mean,
Oh,
it's cool to touch base and feel like 100% comfortable about everything going into a show. There's so much anxiety that can come from preparing an event in terms of,
yeah.
is the sound going to be okay? Is like all this stuff,
Yeah.
and like it's important to know that you're in good hands. So I want to provide that, and thank you for like you. Everyone should know, like, if you're working with a Rex, she texts back very fucking quick, by the way, as well. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm texting
I
you about anything, like any question about the show or anything, like, you've gotten back really quick and we've just hammered everything out and figured everything out really quickly. It has been really great. So,
good.
you
Tell
know,
your friends.
yeah.
And they
No,
can tell their friends.
but you know what? I knew that because we were just talking about it before. Like, you want to make yourself someone who can work with people. I knew that about you before we started working. You know what I mean? It's,
Yeah, and I think
yeah.
that also putting on shows and stuff, like I understand the stress of it because like I've put on like the all female show and stuff, and
Lost you again. Sorry about that. Can't hear
I
you.
gotta
There you
sorry,
go.
sorry. I gotta turn off my fucking lock screen.
I know, I know.
They like a lot of artists don't understand what goes into putting on a show. So I thought it was very important in the beginning of my career to like really be hands on with that as well because there's people out here, and I'm not gonna diss anybody, but like that take advantage of new artists and artists like with money wise in a sense of like, oh, like they promise you all the shit that they're gonna do for you and then they don't come through. Or it's like they hype it up so much more. And I think when you do it as yourself as an artist, like you kind of know like there's levels to this shit, you know? And I never understood that term until being in the game. And like putting on your own shows and like being hands on is like important because then you see what goes into it. And then you, when someone else is doing a show with you, have that same respect because you know how much goes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important to see both roles like almost be like undercover boss in a way sometimes, I mean,
Yeah.
I started as an artist. I mean, I still make music.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, a little bit. And
Plug yourself in.
what's that?
Plug yourself in. What's dropped? What's
Yeah,
hot?
we should freestyle right now.
It's not even 10
That's how this should
a.m.
go. Yeah, I'd be canceled in like 2 seconds. So I'd be canceled for being bad. I'd be the first guy to get canceled for just being trash. Um, but yeah, so like I was in that position as an artist, and then I became a promoter, so I know both sides of it, and I can like
Hmm.
be a good promoter because I don't want to fuck over like my people. Like
Right.
artists are my, like, it wasn't, just straight up became a
Do it
promoter.
for the money. Do it for the
Yeah, I
like.
mean, well, I do it
You're like,
for
well, I do it
I
for the
do it for
money.
all I no, don't get me wrong. I do it all for the money. No, it's, I mean, I do it for all aspects of
Mm,
what it is, and
the culture.
I mostly do it for, yes, you just said culture. Like I mostly do it for that. Um,
Hmm.
like this has given me a whole new like lease on life, like just the music scene and everything. So like it's important to me. But yeah, like I've worked with a lot of artists over the past few years, and like the ones that I have the best time with are the people that have like strong social media presences, always working, um, down to do a show, down to like do an interview, all that kind of stuff. Just people that are enthusiastic and have that same
Hmm.
level of hunger that I do. You know, I
Hmm.
think that a lot of the time, and it's not about how great of an artist you are. I mean,
Right.
there are a lot of people that are amazing, that are fucking so lazy, you know,
Yeah.
and
It's like,
so ego filled, you know, that
yeah.
they're not down, you know, about anything, you know.
Yeah. To have the it factor, you got to have it all. Like, you got to have, you don't think like Taylor Swift and all these people like don't have work ethic? Like, they're the hardest working people out there.
Oh my God, they're the hardest working ever. Like
Yeah. And to be,
Drake busts his ass, and I know it.
yeah.
And
And Drake used to do shows the same, places that I'm doing shows, right? Like, and you got people don't think about that shit. They're just chasing that like big stage, that big dream, but you gotta just like put in the work and like do the little stages, do the rooms without people,
Absolutely. I
and
mean,
like,
it's also about like not being too picky, right? I mean,
yeah,
if Drake had been super picky, he wouldn't have played, like you mentioned, he played places like Clinton's. He played um, different
Rivoli.
stages in the city that, you know, he played like manifesto shows at other venues and stuff. And like that is it. Like you just play all the time, play as much as you
Hmm.
can, all that kind of
Hmm.
stuff, you know. And I think ego kind of gets in the way. Like I just want to, when I pop out, I want it to be perfect. I want
Yeah,
all my fans to be there. I want to,
yeah.
every time I pop out, it's got to be perfect. I can't
It's
play
not
for
the
me.
reality. It's not
It's
the reality.
not the reality. It's not the
You
reality.
have good shows and you have bad shows, like, and it's just about the learning experience and just keep pushing.
Yeah.
You can't.
What's a show story like? A crazy show story for you? One that pops out.
I mean, it depends on which way you want to go because there's always been adventures at shows. But I mean, like one of my favorite moments definitely was doing like the all female supermarket. It's called No Man's Land. We did volume one at Bar Cathedral with Spark Houston.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I lost you on the tail end there, but yeah, I know Spark. Spark's great.
Yeah, sorry, fucking
All
phone.
good.
Um, Yeah, no, Spark Houston, and it was like the all female no man's land at Bar Cathedral, and it was honestly so dope. Like we sold it out. It was over capacity. Like Bar Cathedral actually got a ticket that night because it was just so lit, and the energy and like the support and like that's what keeps me going in this shit because out of 10 shows, like you might have no people at, 7 out of the 10 shows, but those 3 shows that like people come out to, like that energy is lit. And like that's what keeps me going. Cause like the main goal for me is to like play a stadium one day, because that's on the bucket list. So that's my definition of success when I get that.
I would have such a good time watching you at Rogers Center.
Ah.
I would get really drunk. I would enjoy it. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be
I would get
crazy.
really drunk after because that's goals. And like everything anything's possible. So and this is the year for me to like really fucking work, you know? And not just in Toronto, like I'm gonna try and travel as much as I can. Like don't limit yourself just to one area as well.
That is a great point. I see that. You're doing LA. Have you like any ideas about New York as well, or it's
Yeah,
mostly
I'm
yeah.
going to New York in April for sure. And then trying to go to London, England in May, like trying to be international
That
over
is
here.
it. Have you had like with the visa stuff to perform over there? How's that been like working that kind of?
And hopefully there's like a single, American man listening that
This is
wants
90
to
day
put a
fiance.
ring on it.
90 day
Help me get
fiance.
that.
All my
Yeah,
American
help me get
guys. All
that
my American guys.
visa. Yeah.
Yeah, the American. dudes are listening for sure.
Yeah, the American dream.
Yeah, the LA show looks really cool too.
Yeah, and you can't say who's on it, but like there's some heavy hitters on that, and I'm really excited
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I get to be on the same bill as some of those people, you know? And like you never know what's gonna happen that weekend. That's Grammy weekend. So that was a big factor in me, like getting out there. I'm like, I gotta get there. Like, and I did whatever I could to get there, and I did. So I'm excited.
that's awesome. Yeah, I remember I was following you around the time like you posted about, hey, are there any opportunities out there? Are there any um, things in LA? And then you made it happen, and it's a fucking awesome show too that you're a part of. I think that's so inspiring because so many people have too big of an ego to like to ask for any help, really, or like
Yeah, and that was the thing. Oops. I actually had like someone approached me, a booking agent that had heard me and said it was someone totally different. And he was like, hey, like I have this show. It's Grammy weekend. It's a private event, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, like I want to do it. But it was through this company that, like is a booking agency and you have to pay them a big fee and all this shit. And I was just like, I can't. I would rather take that money and invest it into like advertising and all that shit, right? So, um, I kind of sat there and thought about it, and I'm just like, what can I do? Because I don't want to pay this, let's just say $1,000 to get on a show, because usually, like right now in Toronto, like I get paid to be on shows. So it's a whole different world going into the States and having to pay to be on a show. So I was like, what can I do? Because I don't want to do that. So I made my advertisement being like, hey, anyone in LA, like during this weekend, like, is there anything going on you can book me on? And invested in an ad, right? Like, I would rather invest in myself than to give my money to somebody else. And it ended up being really beneficial. Like, my Instagram popped off and I had lots of DMs and I booked a lot of shit because of just investing that little bit of money into myself. I ended up and doing a little bit of the grunt work, um, because paying people to be on a show like that takes all the pressure off you because they organize everything. But I just think it was important for me for my first time to be completely hands on.
that's
So I
great.
made
Yeah,
made the ad, and just it was beneficial to me. And that's a gem that if you're listening, like you should do it because it fucking works.
yeah. Just do it because it fucking works.
Yeah.
That's the end of the Nike slogan.
We need to put that on a t-shirt.
Cause it fucking works. It does,
Yeah.
man. It does. Like that
Hmm.
is fucking inspiring. You've hit the balance where you know that you want to do tons of stuff. You're willing to ask for help, and then you're also willing to go, okay, I can pivot here because this doesn't look like a good opportunity. There's other options for me, and I can invest in myself, and I can do this. So it's I'm sure that comes with like time too. I'm sure
Definitely.
you've experienced spending money on things that just didn't work out, right? And
Yeah.
to know
Yeah.
to not take that kind of an opportunity.
Yeah. And like and it's I've been doing this for 4 years now, but minus the pandemic. But I mean, um the growth. Like if you look as right now as an artist, I'm like, oh, I don't want to be where I want to be, obviously, because you always want to be the next step above, right? But if I sit here and look at my resume and my EPK and look at all the things that I have accomplished, like it's like, oh, like wow, there is a lot of shit, right? So you just gotta like keep pushing.
Oh,
I
for
don't know
sure,
where I don't know where I was going with that.
for sure, yeah.
You got lost in the
This has
sauce.
become a very motivating podcast.
That's what it's all about. Like, especially as an artist, you need that motivation because,
I think so,
there's
man. But I
you
also
die.
think that like the people that we're reaching, they want this kind of stuff too. Like
Hmm.
this is the kind of stuff that they repost all the time. Even if they're not
Good.
living by what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like this is the kind of stuff they repost, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm giving some secrets here. Like,
No, it's great.
yeah.
I think everyone should have that mentality of the job's not finished, but also be able to applaud yourself for the jobs that you have accomplished, the things that you have done. And don't forget
Mm,
those things, because you need those things in your back pocket to be able
yeah.
to succeed in the next thing. You got to remember how you succeeded back there, um, to be
Yeah.
able to continue on. And like, don't think of yourself as trash or not where you want to be
Well,
just
yeah.
just because you haven't hit that next milestone yet. Like,
Yeah, and like you can't compare yourself to anyone else's journey. That was a big thing that I did in the beginning. Like I'd always look at everyone else and I'm like, fuck, like I wish I had that, or I wish that I booked that, or I wish that, like you can't have that mentality because people are looking at you as well and being like, fuck, like I wish I had that. I did that. Like, you know what I mean? You just gotta, whatever God is giving you and whatever you're manifesting into your life is gonna happen if you have that mentality. And I think manifestation is a very important thing. Like, I've pretty much manifested everything. The mind is a very strong tool to use. So just keep pushing, right? Because, like, there's going to be days that, like, you're like, what the fuck is the point? But you never know what's going to happen tomorrow or who's going to, you know, reach out to you. Like, peaks and valleys in this shit. Period.
period. Period.
Yeah.
Nah, the fact that you're even grinding is an amazing thing on its own. People that are just saying fuck it and going hard with it, everyone, that is a good feeling. That's just a good
Mhm.
feeling to be, it could be your first day getting into a new workout routine, but it just
Mhm.
feels good to be doing something. You've seen no results yet, but the fact that you are even getting down to the gym, or you're doing what needs to be done, feels
Mhm.
good just to be
Mhm.
doing it. Like,
Totally. I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah. Next Thursday, the lineup is great too. Like, I
Yes.
think we got a solid crew here. Everyone is pretty different. Um, it's gonna
Val
be.
Merck. Have you ever seen Val Merck perform?
I've seen him on Instagram.
Ugh, like is he's like when I saw him perform for the first time, I was like, how the fuck is this guy not famous? He is so smart and like a Canadian, like childish Gambino, but like if you get it, you get it. And I think you'll see when he performs. All the people on the bill are gonna be dope. Jetsy or whatever. Jetsy. Um
Jet Lee's?
fucking Jet what is it? Jet Li?
Jet Lee's, yeah.
Yeah, Jet Li's. Wow, she is incredible too. She brought dancers last time I saw her live. Like a real female rapper. Like, let's go.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
She's great. Evo has such crazy energy.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
He's great. And then Space Jam is just fucking, his energy is off the charts. Like, he's just great.
It's gonna be a great show. I'm really excited about it.
It's
Doors
gonna be
open
great.
at what time? 8?
Yeah.
Yeah. Show starts at 9. Excuse
I
me.
think we'll kick off around 8ish, maybe just the opening, like the first couple acts probably, but
I
um
cannot wait. I also Music Blender is gonna be outside. Making sure that the vibes are right outside. I don't know if you know who Music Blender is. He's a DJ that kind of goes around Toronto and plays beats off. He has like a whole setup out of his car.
oh, so
Yeah, and he just parks outside venues and like spins his beats or whatever. And he came to one of my shows a couple weeks ago and outside of Clinton's. And I was just like so dope. And I filmed him and I got a lot of views on TikTok. So now he is a homie and he's gonna come spin some tracks
that's
outside.
great. That
Yeah.
that's good to hear. Like, I like to have that vibe outside and just something
Yeah.
cool. It's just positive energy. I feel like when a guy does some stuff like that, it's just positive.
Yeah. He's definitely a vibe. Um, Also, lots of blogs are coming out. I'm excited about that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so they're definitely coming, eh?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's sweet.
Mm.
Yeah, that is awesome. No, it's just a huge show. I just think this is gonna be. We have something special with this show, you know.
I
Um,
know. There's magic to it.
yeah, no, there's something like it's a grenade, you know. It's gonna. This
And it's
show
the first
is
show
good.
of 2023.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's year. Let's go.
Oh my god. It's gonna be really good. I think this is the best way that we could start this year off, I think.
I
Especially with
agree.
like you mentioning you going to other places. I think that like doing a big thing where you're headlining in the city just to kick off the year is really cool.
I know. So I really appreciate you guys, picking me to be your artist. It means a lot, especially being a female. And I really respect you guys.
Respect, dude. It's so likewise. Like I think we both just have a lot of hunger and like you've been doing this for a long time and yeah, thank you so much for joining the show as well.
Yeah.
So the pleasure's mine. I am super hyped for a lot of my people to see what you got. Like people in my scene don't know a lot of you yet, and a lot of them are coming to the show and they're gonna, you know, be taken aback. They're gonna be,
Have you ever seen me live?
I think I did at Clinton's one time.
Okay, dope. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I remember you did really well. It was really good.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know how
think
long ago that
performing is
was,
like,
but
sorry?
I don't know how long ago that was, but
Yeah, performing is definitely one of my favorite things to do.
what's
Such a
like the biggest performance you've done? Like other,
I've opened for a lot of people.
yeah,
Hmm. I mean, I like Snack the Ripper. That was a big show. Um,
that's
Little
cool.
Debbie, Little Debbie was a big show. Like and Dev. We're at what's it called? Lee's.
Oh, Lee's Palace.
Yeah, I'm actually going and rapping. Do you know who Token is?
Yeah, yeah.
Token's coming here on the 24th, and I'm rapping for him at his sound check.
So,
So yeah, I hope that
oh, that's cool.
gets.
At a sound check type of deal. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's
Someone
a
asked,
lot of pressure.
it isn't. It isn't
Fuck
like.
it.
Yeah, fuck it. Exactly. Like I've rapped to a lot of big rappers. Like I just got backstage and rap like the Rich Homie Quan.
So,
Rapped to him before. Lots of people.
fuck it, man. Like that's the kind of vibe I get from you. Is just you're just kind of letting anything holding you back just kind of go.
Oh, if
Like
I
you're
see
just
an
like
opportunity, I'm gonna grab it.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that New York. So like I've been interviewing different New York artists. I've got like 13 interviews under my belt too, and I was in New York in November, and I was also there in December too. So I'm looking to do some stuff there as well. So we'll keep in touch about that.
Yeah,
Um,
come out with me in April.
dude, yeah, and I'm trying to like promote something. I'm trying to get that
Yeah.
because I fucking love New York. That
I
is just,
fucking love New York. It's
it's
such
amazing.
a vibe there.
Yeah. Do you have any like preference in terms of LA or New York? I mean, for me, I think both places are amazing. Like I'm not. It's just New York is kind of
Well,
closer to home. You know.
yeah, like New York is definitely more my style. Like I have more of an East Coast flow and stuff like that, but like living in LA would be crazy because it's just like LA, right? And like that's kind of been on my bucket list forever. Um, and like not having to deal with winter would be
Right.
lit. Like
Pun intended
I'm
on the
done
lit.
with
Yeah.
snow. Like I want to live on a beach and just. But I think that it's just really difficult to get a visa. So if it works out, it works out. Like I'm really hoping when I'm there, like the main reason about this trip is to just, it's a business trip. Like I'm going to like meet as many people as I can and get in studios and film and do whatever I can in a matter of 5 days, right? So, but I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
A perfect 5 days to do it too, like the Grammy weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
What
because you
other
never know who
kind
you're
of
gonna
stuff
meet.
like on Grammy weekend can you? I guess there's tons of like parties and tons of
Yeah,
um, things centered around that. Um,
yeah.
yeah, it's funny. Like I'm asking you questions, then I go, "Oh wait, that might be confidential. Oh wait, that might be confidential." Like I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah. And also like I feel like just I'm very superstitious as well. Like it's hard to talk about things before they happen because you can, make this fantasy in your head and then it doesn't play out the way you want it to and then you're just disappointed, right?
Hmm.
So, I think it's important to just kind of live it out and then once it happens then you can talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Because I think the more that we sit here and go like, it's gonna be incredible, you're going,
Yeah.
and okay, this is
I
all
mean,
great.
I
Yeah,
could go and get mugged. Who knows?
literally. Yeah, you just go and get completely
Yeah.
fucked up. Yeah,
I'm staying
That's it.
downtown, so you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, the worst trip ever. I mean, hey man, lower your expectations. You will never be disappointed.
Just yeah,
Um,
exactly.
you can only go up from there.
Yeah.
But it will be it'll be I don't know. Well, again, you don't want to preface it too much, but
Yeah.
I think it's just dope that you even have the ambitions to do that. I mean, a lot of people are very Toronto centric, and I mean, you're someone who like Toronto is so much a part of what you do, but you're still willing to head out there
Yeah.
and do what you gotta do. So
No, like Toronto's great. Love Toronto, but it's not it. Like it's just not. It's like I'm from a small town. I'm from Collingwood, Blue Mountain, and moved to Toronto thinking it was such a big city and it was and yes, it is completely from Collingwood. It's a big city, but like it's small into comparison as to what like America is. So it's just kind of leveling up and I think that I've done as much as I can do in the city and I know it all as a lot of people. So it's just like and it's such a small town thing. Like everyone knows everyone. So it's like once you get to that point, you got to challenge yourself more. So that's why hopefully in the next 2 years you'll be hearing from me and I will be in the States because that's the next step in this shit.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna also be in the States. That's what's gonna be happening.
Let's go together.
Let's fucking do it, man. Promoting
We
this
could
shit
rent
like
a
crazy.
house, live it up.
Man, it is a small town. Like, we're like, oh, EM Lord. Oh yeah, I know EM. Oh, Val Murphy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like it is like that, especially in the music scene. It's a small world. Like
Yeah.
it's such a small world. Yeah, and honestly, it's an incredible stepping stone. Like it's an incredible foundation. It's an incredible place to always come back to because there is a real positive vibe I find in having this spot as your foundation, and there is a lot of love in the music community.
Hmm.
Um, there's a lot of hate in it too, but you know what
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Totally.
but anyway,
Totally.
basically, I think that it's
That's
just a
just the
solid
world. That's
foundation. Yeah,
just the world.
that's
I
just the
agree.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that the next level, like the next steps of the game, is in the States. It just is. I mean,
Hmm.
once you've found your footing, um, and you certainly have, I think it's just about getting out there. And it's good that you acknowledge that. Like, I really believe in you as an artist because
Oh, thank you.
you are going to those places and you're looking for opportunities. You're not afraid to ask for help. You're not afraid to play as many shows as you can, rap for an artist that's coming to the city during a sound check, whatever. Like, these are the things that when people see you doing that, they revolve, um, they gravitate towards you
Hmm.
because they know like this is there's belief here. Like there's
Yeah.
like you've generated this hope for your career out of
Hmm.
thin air, out of just I'm gonna do this, and that's what people gravitate towards.
Totally. I totally agree. And I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's what it is, you know. And people can hate on it and sit there and pout about it and say that I don't deserve it, but I know that I do because I fucking put in the work. And
Yeah.
I have no shame in that either. Like, and like, there's such a stigma with rappers and what they're supposed to be and blah blah blah. But I think that's what sets me aside from other people because I have my own lane that I choose to stay in. And I mean, it didn't happen overnight. Like, I definitely trial and tribulation or whatever. And in the beginning of my career, like, thought that I had to be something that I wasn't. Like, with like, excuse me, like bounce and thick chick and having ass everywhere and just like pussy, pussy, pussy. Like, I wasn't being true to myself. I mean, like, yeah, I'm a sexual person and I believe women are allowed to be sexual and talk about that and do what they please. But I mean, I just wasn't being true to myself. And I think it took like the pandemic and like going through some real shit to really humble myself and like find my lane in a sense of it's okay that you're like, I'm kind of a tomboy and it's okay that I talk about mental health and it's okay to have feelings as a rapper because people look in and like, why aren't you like gangsters don't cry like blah blah blah. But like, I don't consider myself that at all. For one, I'm an artist. Like,
Hmm.
so, and you got to find your lane and stay in it.
It's all about making a connection, and you can only do
Mhm.
that by authenticity.
Mhm.
It's really the only route to that connection that stays with people, right?
Mhm.
And I mean, I don't know. I think "Bounce" is a dope song. I think like like
Oh
a lot
yeah,
of
no,
those.
it's
Yeah,
that's my banger. Like,
yeah,
and that's
yeah.
what blew me up on like Six Buzz and like all and like put me on the map for sure. But I think that now, like, looking, I'm a lot more proud of my messages and music and what I've accomplished this year. It was a big, like, 2022 was a very big year for me. Like, but I fucking worked, right? So, yeah.
Worked hard, man. I
Thank
mean,
you.
yeah, and it wasn't the easiest year to for a lot
Mm-mm.
of people. Like a lot of my peers,
Right.
myself included. Um, it's funny, like 2021, things like late 2021, things were popping off a lot more in the city. People were coming to local shows a lot more.
Yeah.
2022, there was a bit of a decline. Then there was, if it was a good night, it was fucking amazing. But if it wasn't, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Um, how, like, just recapping last year, um, what were some of the big things that you learned?
Um, like, I get in music or like in general?
I would say, like, music centered, yeah.
Music centered. I mean, a big thing I guess is like, it has to do with everything. Is like you can't depend on anybody. Like, everybody is in it for themselves, right? But if you just, you know, I don't know. I don't, I'm trying to find. I'm trying to sound philosophical here. Like, you gotta like we've talked about it the whole time. Like, it's just consistency, and like I learned that you can't just like just be like put out one thing and expect for it to pop off. You just got to keep consistently working. And that's what people always comment to me. Like, they're always like, you're always doing something. You're always, like, if you're not doing one thing, you're doing another. And that's important. So, like, and you got to have that balance of like doing podcasts, doing shows, releasing music, getting in the studio, and balance. I guess balance would be what I've learned this year, in a
Uh-huh.
sense of some days, like, I'll admit to you, like, there was days where I'd have shows booked or interviews booked and I fucking did not want to go. And pushing myself to fucking get up and go. And then once I'm there and once it's happening, it's great, and things come out of that. So balance and like pushing yourself, I think, are the two main things
I think that
that
was
I
great.
learned this year. Pardon?
I think that was great. I mean, you you were looking for an answer for a sec, but that dude, balance
I got
and
there. It
balance.
took me a
No, you.
minute.
That's
I'm
it.
like,
That's it. Exactly. You mentioned haters a little bit for a sec. Aren't
yeah,
they so like not even worth talking about? Sometimes it's like I don't know. It's like some of my guys just got on TikTok recently, and
yeah.
and
TikTok is
they
fun.
were like, oh my god, there's a lot of hate on here. I was like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, man, like it's the internet, like
Yeah, it's everyone has an opinion, and that's something else that, like, I've learned. Like, I respect people's opinions, and like there's been some issues this year with with people that I thought that like were my, homies, that we didn't agree on certain things, and it was very strong stances, and like, they would say one thing on the internet and then I would say another, and it's bad. Like, and everyone has an opinion, but for me, it's like, I do respect that if you have a different opinion from mine, but like, it's like, fuck, who cares, bro? Like, at the
who
end of the
cares?
day, who cares? Like, and internet trolls are just like, they're sad people. They're very, very, very sad people.
I think the
And
TikTok
I
ones
feel
are
bad.
even sadder. Like the TikTok ones are just another level of
Yeah.
just insecurity.
Yeah. And like, it's just looking at other people's lives and like wishing that yours was like that, but you could absolutely make your life like that. Like, and like, social media is terrible sometimes, like, with mental health, and that's why you gotta like take some time to not be on social media, you know?
Well, I mean, if you're working, like
It's hard.
I don't have the time to hate on people on social media. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and you're a good person. Like, it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah,
But that's just how the world is now. And also, like, these trolls too, like, they get a rise out of any attention that gets given, whether it be positive or negative, because and when you entertain it, like, it's like they get that, like, oh, like, even if they're not trying to be assholes, like, for example, people would be like, fuck you, I fucking hate you, da da da. And then I return it with like love. And then they're like, wait, like, you're actually like nice, and like, you're not gonna fucking tell me to go fuck myself. And it's like, no, like, what's the point? Like, I don't know you. I don't care what you think. And it's like, so you flip their whole opinion on you. Then they're like, oh, I do like you, you know?
opinions can
So,
change so quickly too. That's the
oh,
other thing
so
that's
quickly.
yeah, that's the other thing that's important is and also when you just continue doing your thing, there's a
Hmm.
respect there and there's also like people become accustomed to seeing you pop up and they want that
Hmm.
more.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know. I just think like yeah, just like keep your blinders on, man. Like just
Yeah.
don't even like you're going where you're going. Keep your blinders on. Don't look to your left or to your right. Just keep. So
Yeah.
corny. So corny.
So corny, but so true.
So true.
And that's the thing too. I had something to say, but it just went away, and I don't remember what I was gonna say. Um, yeah, just keep going, keep pushing. That's
That was great. That was real inventive.
all you can say.
So as we wrap up, heading into next week, what can people expect from your performance? Give me little
Fucking,
promo.
I'm the best fucking performer in Toronto. I don't
On
use
God,
no back.
period, period.
Period. Period. Period. Um, I don't use a backtrack. I rap real rap. I lose my breath. No one does that in the city. No, I'm just joking. A lot of people do. And I'm just really excited. It's going to be my first show back from 2023. I'm going to perform some new music that no one's heard before ever. It's all going to be released on my album. Um, but I'm going to test it out with anybody that comes to the show. So I really hope you guys like it. I'm going to be doing some old tracks. It's just going to be a good time. There's going to be lots of women there, so man damn, come out. If you're single, come out. If you're hot, come out. If you're ugly, come out. Everyone just come out.
It's just a positive vibe. It's gonna
Yeah.
be a rap show like no one's seen before, and
A rap show like no other.
like
And with
no
a
other.
woman headliner, like that, who does that in the city? Come on.
No, it's something that I think that's why like we're getting covered by blogs and stuff. Is I think
Yeah.
we have something really special with this event, and dude, like that's both me and you collabing on that. Like I don't think it's possible without either one of us. So I want to thank you for coming on the show. I want to thank
Thank
you
you.
for coming on this show to do this interview.
Anytime.
Yeah, we should do it again for sure. Like after this show, whatever. And yeah,
When I'm big
man,
and famous and selling out Rogers Center.
I'll be drunk in the
Yeah, you'll be
audience.
drunk backstage.
And thank you. Okay, sick. I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that.
About 100%.
All right, awesome.
All right. It
Thanks
was
so much
so
for
great
coming
talking.
on. Enjoy the rest of your day, homie. And
Yeah, follow me, Rax Official Music, RAXX Official Music on all platforms. Follow me on Spotify, Apple Music, all that.
all that.
Be kind to people. Period.
Period. Cheers, guys. Have a good day.
Cheers. Thank you. Bye.